Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Hello farmers and welcome back to Ravenport. We are back in the rail yard field once again. This time fertilizing though, so that's a good thing. But maybe you can kind of tell there's a lot of foliage on the ground. That's because, the weeds are back in field number 6. The weeds never leave in field number 6. Let's just make it that way. And our new field at the rail yard is full of weeds as well. I've already fertilized field number 6 for the second time. I did that this morning. And then I came over here and did this field as well. Filled up the fertilizer spreader full at a cost of like, I want to say 7 grand. So we made a little money from the BGA last night. We got paid from them. And now that we also bought this last property down here, our loan was extended a little bit further out. Let me just see how we're doing on the map for fertilization. Yeah, we got weeds. So weeds here, weeds here. Luckily, these fields down here have not got weeds yet. Are they ready? They should be ready for harvest sometime today. But our main thing for this episode today is going to be making chaff from the corn. Yeah, so these fields are not ready for harvest yet. They should be sometime today. So there we go. Nicely fertilized. Nicely, all of our fields fully fertilized. So now we're just kind of waiting for, well, the oats to turn so we can harvest those. And really we could do chaff now on the corn. In previous tests I've seen, I've seen a couple people do this test on FS19 for the corn for chaff. There isn't that much of a difference between the final growth stage and harvest and the following harvest, but you actually do get a little bit more depending on the size of the field, obviously. You do get more as a harvest, as it goes from growth to harvest, second stage harvest, third stage harvest, but it's the size fields that they were doing on, not as big as this one. Of course, when you're doing a test, you don't want to do it on a big field and take all day. I understand that. So they were getting like 1,000 to 2,000 liters more per progression of the field. But now the one thing that we need to do is we're going to use the weeder on field 6 ourselves, but then I may hire someone to do on the rail yard field. Now the one thing, I don't think I showed it when we bought this weeder. Now you can see we're hooking up the new weeder that we got and it raised it. Guess what? It won't come out. Well, it wouldn't go in. I don't think it'll come out. Will it? Okay, it came out, but watch when I go, if it goes in, I'll scream. It went in. Okay, maybe I didn't have the garage door open the way, but you can see. Okay, see there it got stuck. So the way I got it in last time was I had to lower it and then back it in like that. Does the clip gonna come out a little bit? Just a tiny bit. Anywho, this is our new weeder that requires 120 horsepower. Our Massey Ferguson is now 130 horsepower. And we're going to fill it up with gas, with diesel, yes. The question we have is, what's going to happen when it starts going uphill? That is the question. Oh yeah, but getting back to our money, so that's how much money we have and what we can borrow. So we are short of a cow pasture, but you can see our loan is now up to 2.660. That's $2.66 million. Yes, sirree. But like I said, once we really we buy the cow pasture, there's 3 things that we kind of need right now to actually help out the farm. One is the cow pasture, duh. 2, we're going to need a tanker to haul the milk away. And 3, the slurry spreader. The reason why I won't need the slurry spreader is because the digestate at the BGA, I don't know if we're maxed out in there or not, who knows. But those are the 3 things we need. And then we're just going to start slowly paying off the loan as we buy other things as well. But look at the size of this weeder. That is a nice size right there. So this is like 60% bigger than what we had. So this should do the job 60% quicker. Yes, in theory it should, depending on the speed that we can do going uphill. That's the question that we all have. So I am going to get to weeding this field. If it has trouble going uphill, then it has trouble going uphill. I don't think the Case tractor can take thin tires, row crop tires. We'll deal with that when we get there. We may have to... Well, we'll see what happens, won't we? But maybe it'll be fine. So it's 7 miles an hour downhill, so that's got to be the weeding speed, obviously, of this weeder. So we'll see what it does going uphill. And hopefully I'll stay on the other side of the field. On the other side of the field, duh, no kidding, but the Massey Ferguson with a 130 horsepower engine, not having much of an issue at all. The working speed of this weeder, I had to check just to make sure. We were going 7 downhill, but I said, is it gaining this extra 1 mile? Working speed is 7. And the worst I've seen it is what you see right there, 6. So, yeah, the Massey Ferguson not having much trouble on this incline. So, I don't have to worry about trying to figure out how to pull this weeder. It's working great. Now in the future, as the farm gets more money and whatever, eventually we can go to where we use nothing but herbicide. Now I'm trying to figure out, because weeds just keep coming back in this field every time we plant. So I don't know if herbicide will kill the weeds for 2 growth stages, or growth cycles, or harvest cycles, or I'm not sure, because the oat fields down by the chicken farm don't seem to get weeds every time. It seems like every 2 times they get weeds. So or maybe it's just because the surrounding fields around us have weeds. That's what weeds do. So down by the chicken farm, there's not many fields around those fields. So it's harder for those fields maybe to get caught up with the weeds. I don't know. I'm talking gibberish maybe. That's what I'm thinking. I have no idea. But this field just seems like I can't get rid of the weeds no matter what I do. Now, our cornfield, chaff field, whatever you want to call it, next door, doesn't have weeds in it. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure. But with this weeder already, even though we spent an extra 30 grand to get it, we sold the one that was 7 meters? Or 8 meters? Maybe it was 9. Maybe it was 9 meters. This one is 16, so we paid an additional 30 grand to get it. But in the long run, it's going to save us cash. For starters, I'm doing this field. I'm not paying a worker, and usually I got charged like $800 for him to weed this field. So already I'm saving $800, and it's going to save us repair bills and fuel costs in the long run as well. So it all works out. So I am hoping that in the next in-game day, meaning tomorrow, yeah, we might have enough money to... We should have enough money for the cow pasture, buy cows, and probably buy the milk tanker. Now the milk tanker can also haul water as well. So we do have the Joskin just right behind us. But since that only costs 9 grand selling it, that's only going to give me like 8 grand. So it's not like it's going to be a bit, I don't even think 8 grand. So we may leave the Joskin down by the horses and just give the horses water with that, and then the milk tanker can stay over here and they can give the sheep water, the cows water, and maybe the pigs. We may put a pig pen down by the sheep. Originally I thought I was going to put another sheep pen down here, but since the sheep pen can hold, I think, 280 sheep, I don't see where we'll need another pen anytime soon. So yeah, we might put a pig pen down here by the sheep. And done. Let's just check the map just to make sure. Because I was driving. Turn the weeds back on. No weeds. Still no weeds down here. No weeds there as well. That's good. So now we're going to head this on over to the rail yard field. And I do believe we're going to put it... Oh, I'm like, why am I not going fast enough? How about if you lift up the weeder, get it off the ground, and then your Massey Ferguson can go. I was trying to see what the forecast was. I'm like, the way the HUD shows it, for a minute there I thought that was a cloud with rain, but it was just the way the background was on the HUD. But when I got just right, you can kind of see the next stage is full sun. Because it never rains here in Ravenport at all. Yeah, I'm getting close to 100 hours on this map. Yeah, 100 hours, I said it. Not one drop of rain. Yeah, so I'm not sure what that's all about, but, you know. I must be in the Sahara Desert. So, like before, we're going to come up here in this corner right here. And I'm going to set this guy off on a worker. I'm going to watch him for a bit. The reason why I want him to do it is because I got to do some farm managing things. I really haven't calculated how much money we need for the cow pen. So, you know, I know the cow pen costs 300. I'm probably going to add an extra 10 grand in there for terraforming. Then I got to see how much the milk tanker is that we need. And how many cows? I don't even know how much cows even go for. So I got to figure out how much our trailer holds, how many cows I want to get. Kind of figure out some of this stuff. See what they... I have not ever watched yet on FS19 what it really entails to take care of cows. I mean, I've done it before, obviously on 17, 15, and 13. I don't think I ever did cows in 13. But yeah, I want to see what the ratios are. I know total mixed rations is really important. But how important is it on 19? I don't know. Really, I'm trying to see what this worker is going to do here. I want to see if he's going to get stuck as well. Now, I understand. I do know why he's probably going this far. Okay, he's going to back up. I think he's going to be just fine. Have the narrow tires, you don't get the grip that you probably need. So yeah, I'm going to let this guy go to work. I'm going to get my pad and pen out, do my farm manager things, because that's what we're playing. We're playing as a farm manager. Because we're going to say like 275, because yeah, we're going to have some workers today. But when it comes time tomorrow, I mean, these soybeans that, you know, we put a lot of money into this field in the last 2 days. I mean, we had to buy the fields. Obviously lime them, plow the fields, seed, fertilizer, now weeding. These soybeans, we got to take good care of them. Hopefully we get like, I'm hoping like 100 grand. I don't know how much this field will yield. I mean, if we go to the map, I mean, that is a decent sized field. I mean, if you put field 6 here, yeah, I would say this is bigger than field 6 by 50%, maybe, hopefully. But anyways, I'm going to let this guy get to work. I'm going to get my calculator, pad and pen out, do some calculations, and see how much money we need to get to where we need to be. So I'll see you in just a bit. The worker is approaching his end, or her end. Let me get this correct here. His end. And really, when I merge these fields together, I had a lot of doubts about how the worker's going to do this field, but this guy did pretty good. So I'll show you, because he is done. So yeah, he missed the same thing, kind of like the guy when he sowed the field. There's a couple corners here. This part here is where that big bump in the field is, the curve. So it's not. I'm not going to blame the worker for this at all. Well, even if he missed it, I'm not going to blame the worker for doing the field as well as they did. One spot though, it's like somewhere in here, he got to the edge of the field and said worker blocked by an object. So I had to go around, turn around, try to restart him. I had to get like right down about here before he would continue, because even when I got in the field and it hit higher helper, it was pretty much like, no dude, there's, I'm blocked by an object. So I'm not quite sure what that's all about, but overall, you know, how can you complain about what that worker did there? Somewhere right in here. So I was doing my farm manager thing, looking at what it's going to cost to get the cows up and going. So obviously the cow pasture is 300 grand plus. I think we got it to go where it can go like for, what does it say, $305,000. Now the things that we would need, obviously something to sell the milk. Now that's going to be rather important, but not right off. I do want to get the bigger tanker. I don't want to go small, then have to sell it and go big once again. So the big tanker costs $68,000. And plus we got to buy the cows. So if you add all that in, you're talking like $400,000 for the pasture, the milk tanker, and the cows. If we don't buy the tanker, we could buy the Total Mix ration machine, which costs 55 grand. So it's a matter of how I want to approach it the next day. Now the thing is, when we change the corn to chaff and start selling that today, how much do we get from the BGA tonight? And how much do we get from our fields tomorrow? That is the thing. Yeah, my gas pedals zoom in on the map. Sorry about that. So, yeah, and the slurry spreader that we're looking for is 165 grand. That is not really... That's like, if we got the cash, that's fine. And once we buy those things, I know I keep saying this, but I'm hoping I'm going to be all set and then buying stuff so we can start repaying the loan. Now, the thing with the Total Mix rations, I am hoping, and I don't know if this is going to work out or not, but I'm hoping that when I use the Total Mix ration machine, can I unload right from the barn? Because we're not making bales, so I can't take a bale and lift it up and put it in. So we're putting the straw and the hay. Now I can't put grass in there either. So there's that little bend in the field, that little hump. I'm just trying to see if that took care of... That's good enough. We're going to call that good enough. So part of me, since I had the money, I said, well, I can buy the Total Mix ration machine now, and we can see if we can put straw in it right from the barn, hay in it right from the barn. But we don't have anything for the grass. Now I do have some grass bales down at the sheep, so I think the sheep are not going to get any more grass bales for a while. We'll feed the sheep directly from when we cut grass. If that makes sense. Because I can feed them right from the loading wagon, the sheep. I can bring the loading wagon down there and drop off some grass. Actually, the sheep will take hay, so... which will bring me to the thing when I get you back over to the garage. It's going to get a little bumpy here. I don't know why I look that way. The train comes from that way, Peanut. That's really good. Yeah, so... the sheep can take hay, so when we make hay for the cows, the horses, we can also feed the sheep. That's why we're putting hay into the barn. And we do need to make some hay pretty soon, actually. I still have 90,000 liters, which is enough to cover what we need, but... I did spend an extra 5 grand while this guy was weeding. Actually, it comes out to be 5 grand. So we sold the tedder that we had and bought a new one. It's the same exact one. The same model and everything, but it's Stevie's mod. So, being Stevie's mod, it will go faster, which is kind of crucial because now, with the mower, we're going to hook the tedder up to the mower. So, if we can mow grass at 20, I don't want a tedder on the back that can only do, you know, work at 6. That will slow down our mower and everything. So, we got Stevie's mod. We'll turn off the Massey Ferguson. That's good to go. So here's Stevie's mod, which means we can also color it. And of course, you know, we got to match the mower. And of course, we got to match the forage harvester, which is in there. So by the time we sold it, we got like 24 grand for the old one. This sells for 27. Yeah, 27. So by the time I paid for the paint and everything, of course, the paint is extra, so yeah. I mean, I had to. I mean, it's only $5,000. It's gonna speed. It's funny how I can say this now. It's only $5,000. The first few episodes, like, I got $5,000. Yeah, now it's like it's only $5,000. So here we are now. Our fields are pretty much all taken care of. I did have a quick look at contracts. There's nothing really interesting. One did catch my eye. Then I realized that's got to be sugar beet or potato. Harvest field 11. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do that. I got every header except for sugar beet and potato. And the one thing I still haven't seen on this map is no one is doing sugar cane that I know of. I've yet to see anyone plant sugar cane. I don't know. People are planting. I know I said a while ago no one's planting sunflowers. Now it seems like people are planting sunflowers everywhere. So right now, this farmer's going to take a little bit of a break. We're going to wait for either this or the barley to change. So I'll see you in a while. I'm going to put my feet up and rest for a second. And because it's going to be a little bit busy later on. So I'll see you in a snap. Well, farmers, the corn is ready. It's just past noon, so that pretty much tells me that I don't think I'll be selling any silage today at the BGA. Time we harvest this, compact it, and it turns to silage. I don't think that'll be before midnight at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this guy up and going. Now the one thing about Stevie's mod pack, I don't know if the original... Hold on, let me just say, I don't want to give you false information here. Yeah, see, I don't see where it does. Now see, Stevie's mod, he actually has... Well, it's not like he actually did it. But it can hold 60,000 liters. The base game one does not. So, when I hire a worker, he's going to start taking off, and you might be thinking, well, there goes some of your chaff. No, he will store 60,000. So, hire him on a worker. He's going to take off and hopefully stop when he hits 60,000. Meanwhile, we're going to jump on over to this guy right here, our man truck. Is it here? Yes. And we are going to hook up, not to our loading wagon, but we are going to hook up this one because they both hold 90,000 liters. So we're going to grab this guy right here. Why this guy? Well, because he can drive faster, so it's going to save us some time. Look at this guy go to work already. So, from what we got when we did the grass, the last time we mowed this field, it was grass. We got 600 liters. From the tests I did a week ago, we should get 2.5 times, hopefully, 2.5 times more from the corn, which means we should get 1.5 million liters of chaff. Will we? We're going to find out today, not too long, because... Oh, wow, that guy takes off. I'm not sure exactly how the mod works, but he unloads so quick, he actually shows none in his storage, so... yeah, it's going to be a little bit weird. Oops, I'm in his way. Wait, am I still in his way? Can't be still in his way. So that's why it acts a little bit weird. Because this tank is reading empty. So I'm actually going to go dump this off. Now I'll wait. Because if I just keep dumping off when I can, the pit's going to be a mess. And I got to get in there I got to get in there. So what I may do to make it better is I'm going to wait for him to kind of get near the end of the row, because I think he can hold that much in there. So as you can see, with this forage harvester, even though I was gone unloading at the BGA... Oh, sorry, dude. Oh, that may put him off course. He kept on going. So I think the best thing to do with this mod is to let the forage harvester just go until he gets like 80% full. And then unload him. But I'm starting to doubt that I'm going to get 1.5 million unknown reason. Yeah, because I pushed him off course and that's our bad. Or my bad. Unfold pipe first, really. The worker doesn't have to do that. And plus there's a spot down here that we need to get when we block the worker. He took off so fast he missed a section. So I don't know, what do you think? I've already brought in one load of 90,000 liters. And I think we got like 40 or maybe 50,000 liters in the truck already. Am I going to get to 1.5 million liters by the end of this field? Stay tuned. I don't know. I don't want to guess. It's too early for me to guess, so I'm not going to guess. You can go ahead and guess. Yeah, this is working much better instead of just riding the side the entire time. Kind of wait until he's got a tank. But I quickly just checked the map status and yes, indeed, that this field is going to need to be plowed. And I'm not sure I want to do it with a 4-meter wide subsoiler. Yeah, we're going to have to figure something out with that. I'm not sure what to do. So there is 180,000 liters to go to start with. I don't see 1.5 million liters here at this point, so I'm not sure what that test did. Maybe I'll be proven wrong later on. I don't want... Yeah, he stopped. The problem is, the stopping power is not good, so he's going to ruin some crops, I think. But it'll be fine. Yeah, so while he's filling up, if we go to the map page, yeah, see, it needs to be plowed now, because we're doing corn. It needs to be plowed. I don't know why it didn't show up in my test when I did it. Although, now that I think of it, why are you stopping, dude? Are you confused? But I just realized maybe on my test map I have periodic plowing turned off, so that could be the reason. Are you gonna go now? There you go. But consider this another test from that one. We'll see if we do get 1.5 million liters. I don't think it's even going to be close to that, to be honest with you. Well, I've already made a mess of the silo. So I'm not waiting until I have a full trailer anymore. I just go when I can. I've had to restart the Big X a couple times. Forage harvester, just because of the troubles. Meanwhile, the whole time I'm doing this, my brain is racking trying to figure out how do I want to plow this. Do I just want to bring the case tractor over, hook up the subsoiler, and just let him go to town for a day? Well, it's not going to take a day, but it's going to take a while for a 4-meter wide subsoiler to do this field. I don't know how big the biggest plow is, because maybe I could hook it up to the truck. I don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to unload this guy right here. And I'm telling you right now, though, I'm getting kind of disappointed in the yield of this corn. Very disappointed. I don't think it's going to be kind of close to what we got for grass. Now, I know someone's going to say, well, then you need to harvest it before it turns ready for harvest. You didn't wait long enough in the harvest. In my test, I got 2.5 times more on the field. Just over there. What field number is that? That's field number 12 I did the test in. So field number 12 I did the test in. I got 2.5 times more corn out of it. So we're just about halfway through. And I'm not anywhere near 750,000 liters. But meanwhile, I already know about the subsoil. There's plows. So what's the biggest... Well, this is the Stevie's subsoiler. But it requires 420 horsepower. I already know it does not... Well, I don't know if that one will. Maybe this one will. This is not a 3-point linkage. That is not a 3-point linkage. Then you're talking... oh, yeah. But first, I think what I want to see is what is the yield when you get out of this field? Is it going to be worth it to keep it as doing corn? Yeah, we're going to get more liters of corn than we did grass. But is it worth it at this point? I drove way too fast with that much weight in the back. Come on, spit it out. Tell me you can reach. There you go. I mean, we do have a decent amount of size of the field left to go. But I'm not even sure I'm going to reach 1 million liters. Let alone 1.5 million. So I'm just trying to figure out what the difference is from that field to this field. I don't know. My brain is racking. I'm at a loss for words. Yeah, I got to go in from the other side, back it in. The harvester is going to have to wait. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this now, because the yield is not coming out anywhere near like we thought it would. At least I thought it would. I don't know. I know I keep saying that. It's just I'm trying to figure out why. I don't know why. Okay, I will tell you at this stage, what is in the bunker almost equals, where this is a little bit over, what we usually get from the grass field. So what I got in the trailer here and what's left in the field will be extra than what we usually get from the grass field. It's not going to be 2.5 times, as you can see. Yeah, so I'm not really sure still. I would still like, I mean, if we reach 1 million liters, I guess I'll be satisfied with that. But that 1 million liters might be pushing it just a little bit. I'm not sure. It is what it is, and then we'll have to make a decision after we get done. What way do we get done to see exactly what we're getting out of it, and see if it justifies the means to, because grass field is easier to maintain than a cornfield. So I would hate to have to go back to grass, because we did spend a lot of money on that machine. Although if we're not going to do chaff through corn, we could sell that and get a lot of money back, and then buy the things that we need. But first, let's see what we get out of the field, and we'll have to make the farming manager decision. Just getting to the end of the cornfield, maize field, chaff field, silage field, whatever you would like to call it. So early predictions from the test that we did a couple of weeks ago, like I said, we should have got 1.5 million liters off this field. And obviously when we started, and you kind of could see it going along, that we were not going to reach 1.5 million. The question is, would we even reach a million? You know, I would at least like to get double off the field, and honestly, we're not even going to get double what the grass does. So the question now becomes is, how much did we actually get, and does it justify the means to keep this as a cornfield? Switching back to grass would mean, you know, we don't need this machine next to us or the header. You're talking a lot of cash right there that we could have, and we could almost, you know, do the cows today if we decide to get rid of it. You're not quite done because you did miss a couple, and I want to make sure I get every stock that I can because it's going to matter. Well, it's not matter too much, but it matters for testing, right? Unfold pipe first. Of course I gotta unfold the pipe first. The worker doesn't, but I do. I don't understand why I have to unfold the pipe first if it's got capacity. There's not that much chaff in there, dude. Relax. So I was thinking the way the forage harvester was spitting up chaff when it's empty, it does just what a combine harvester does when you're beside it and you're trying to just get some grain. It spits them out, then it doesn't. Spits them out, then it doesn't. It does the same thing here. I can fold that up. So like I said, when we did the grass field, we got 604,000 liters. As long as we get near double, I think that would be justified as good. But now we do need to plow this field. Well, we don't have to plow the field, but I don't know how much we lose if we don't. Parking next to your twin brother, sister, whatever it is. Massey Ferguson, Case, Crone, John Deere, Harvester, man truck. Well, the engine was still running. I turned it off. Fantastic. But it only took us a half an hour to cut the corn, chaff it up, and bring it over. Now the next thing is, yeah, oh, how I need course play. So I could set up a worker or course play worker to compact this chaff. So I do have the HUD off. I know roughly what I got in here. And by adding, what do we got, like 60 some odd thousand liters? Alright. The more the better, because the more that we have, the more it makes me just want to stick with corn. Which would be even better if we actually got $360 per 1,000 rather than the $200 that we're still getting. Must be Giants is still on vacation till maybe the new year. So the pile may not look that big as it has, but trust me, there's a lot there. So what do we have in total? 106,000 liters. So we're about 14,000 liters short of it being double. So say we got like 85% more. Not 2.5 times more. Which, you know, I'm just trying to figure out what the difference is in the test, because the fields are, when I did the test over there, I made sure the fields were weeded, didn't need plowed, they were limed, double fertilization, did the grass, did the same thing on the corn. If you saw the video, you saw me do it. And you know I take care of my field, so I should have got 2.5 times more, which means 1.5 million liters. So yeah, we're 400,000 liters short. Okay, 44,000 liters short. Not 44,000. Wow, I cannot do math right now. 440,000 liters short of being 2.5 times more. But the problem is now we got a field that needs to be plowed, and the Case tractor would be there forever with a 4-meter wide plow. Yeah, so I'll have to figure that out. The next question is, and these fields are ready for harvest. So I want to rack my brain just for a little bit. I'm going to get my combine harvester down here. We'll quickly harvest these fields. And yeah, I got to bring the loading wagon down there, sell the straw. The John Deere's down here ready to go. So I want to just drop off this trailer right here. Does anyone know where my loading wagon is? It's around here somewhere. Well, I'll find it. I'll get all set up down by the other fields there. We'll do some harvesting. Pick up some straw. Oh, my loading wagon's not there. Great. Where's my loading wagon? You know, actually, it might be in the garage. I may have actually put it in the garage. Well, the man truck is down there with the loading wagon. And the case was down there with the subsoiler. Hate to do this to you, buddy, but I'll see you in a couple hours. At least. I don't know, I might be surprised. Let me keep it at 1 time speed. 1:15. We'll see how long it takes them to go and do it. The one thing I will say, probably with Stevie and his subsoilers, I'm pretty sure it's in here. So this is the one that we have, 4 meters wide, 7 miles an hour. Stevie's mod. Where's Stevie? Stevie, where's your mod? Oh, it's in plows. It's in plows. Because it's considered a plow subsoiler. Same thing. But his is 8 meters wide, so twice as wide, 17 miles an hour. But I am curious to see. I don't know if my truck, if it'll hook up to the man truck or not. But for now, the field needs to be plowed either way or not. So let me know what you guys think below. I am kind of leaning towards just keeping it corn because, I mean, we are getting, I want to say double, not quite double the production, but we are getting a good deal more. But it's more work to do on the field each time. That's all. Getting Stevie's subsoiler, you know, plowing won't be that big of a deal. Obviously, it's going to be twice as wide and more than double the speed to plow it. So that's not going to be too big of a deal. But let me know what below your opinions on. I'm not sure if I did something different from the test to this field as to why we didn't get our 2.5 times yield. I mean, 2.5 times, it's like, yeah, that's worth it. We're just short of 2 times the yield, so yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on. I don't know. But either way, it needs to be plowed, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't really need the case for anything anytime soon. So that can go ahead. We'll hire a worker. I'll probably have to pay a couple grand for him to plow it, but it's better than me spending $70,000 on a modded subsoiler right now, not knowing if it can even hook up to the man truck. So I think after I get done recording this video, I'm going to have to go in my test map, get the man truck, and see if that modded subsoiler even hooks up to the man truck. I'd hate to buy it and find out it doesn't. So I'll have to test it out. If it does, great. But still, I really want to get the cows up and going, hopefully next episode. At least that's the plan. First 2 fields are done. And I am thinking it's time to bring the chainsaw over here. Some trees are causing me, I don't want just a little bit, they're in the way. Let me just put it that way. They're in the way when I harvest. I got to go work my way around them, and yeah, they're just kind of in the way. And besides, I do want to cut down, I hate to, but I want to cut down this tree right here only because, did that say this needs lime? Yes, it does. So these fields are going to need lime. Ah, the circle of life. Well, we can see how our worker is doing up in the cornfield. It's only been not even 15 minutes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to take him about an hour to get up to here. So about 2 hours. Yeah, it's going to be like 2.5 hours for that thing. So that's the only, I mean, if we're going to stick with corn, that's not going to work. That's just going to be too much labor cost, too much wear and tear in our vehicle. It's just not going to work. Plowing with that implement and the tractor, that's just too big of a field for that. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do when you're early in the early stages. Well, not really in the early stages of farming, but you know what I'm trying to say? So anyways, we need to now pick up some straw, sell it. What's the price of straw? Hopefully the price of straw is good today. How come when I scroll down, it doesn't scroll down, it doesn't like me? $81, not bad. I mean, it's not bad. So maybe we'll get like 15 grand from selling the straw today. The wheat field over at the other side, that is what we're going to put in storage. This over here, nah, this over here is just sell straight away and not worry about it. I don't think the cows are going to take too much straw. Besides, that field should produce enough straw for the amount of cows we're going to have. So these trees up here are the ones I was kind of referring to just a few seconds ago about they're kind of in the way. You can imagine when I bring a 45-foot header and I'm trying to turn around up here. It's just a little bit crowded. So right now, I know I said leave a comment below what you think we should do with that field. Should I turn it back to grass? It doesn't really cost that much extra to reseed it with corn. Like I said, with grass, you don't have to reseed it, and it always keeps one fertilization stage. But really, between the cost of the seed and the fertilizer, when the corn produces that much more liters on that field, you're talking 90, like 90% more. That definitely outweighs the cost of the seed and the fertilizer that you got to redo. But you also have to take into effect that we have to plow the field every time we plant corn in it. But if we get Stevie's mod for the subsoiler, it's not going to be too bad at all. So right now I am leaning towards corn, but if this was your farm and that was your decision, would you lean towards the go back to grass to make it easier on yourself? Or would you go with the corn just to do it? Right now I want to stick with corn because it gives us a chance to plow something. We got the nice machines. That's the other thing with the corn chaff. You got to buy the forage harvester. I did buy the bigger forage harvester, which was like $510,000, and the header's $106. So there's $600,000 worth of equipment you got to buy. So that's the one thing about the corn I did in that episode, though. Trying to explain the cost of actually doing corn chaff is a lot higher than it is for grass. But if it yields that much more, you can repay that stuff off rather quickly. But just, let me know what you would do if it was your farm. Do you like rather doing grass, even though it produces less? Or are you one of those corny people like me? Right now, we're going to stick with corn, and that's the only time that case is going to use that subsoil in that field. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not going to... He's going to charge me like $2,500 to do that field. At least. If it does take him 2.5 hours. I'm sure as heck not doing it with that, so... But I think what we'll do is once we get this kind of squared away here, once we get rid, pick up the straw, I'm going to get the John Deere going here in a second. No, I can't. We got to spread lime on this field. I'll probably do that between episodes then. I'll probably spread some lime on this field and replant oats again. Trying to get a stockpile of oats because maybe sometime in the future we'll have 2 horse paddocks here. But first things first, we're, like I said, we're going to do the cows, get everything we need to do on that, and then slowly pay off the loan and not borrow anymore. I know, here I go again saying I won't borrow anymore. But I'd like to start paying off that loan because we are losing... Oh boy, I don't know how much we lost. Let's go to the economy. No, wrong page, right page. Down here. Pretty close to 14 grand in interest. That's quite a bit. So it's time to start paying that back, but it's going to be a few days before we get there. We got more things to buy that we really do need. And like I said, the digestate at the BGA, it kind of sucks that we don't know how much is actually in there because, well, there's no gauge to tell us, which is just odd seeing that we own it, but we don't know. So let's go up here, sell. It's not a full trailer, but I got to come up here twice either way. Like I said, in between episodes, I'll spread some. I'm just going to spread lime on the field. I'll let the case tractor keep doing what it's doing. The John Deere is going to replant some oats, reseed some oats. And then I'll bring the John Deere up and I'll begin the fun task of start compacting that chaff and get it turned over. So tomorrow I can start selling it, and that way the next night we should get a decent amount of money from the BGA for just going to say 1.1 million liters of chaff. Please be like 7,000 even. Oh, wow, 6. Okay. Oh, that's right. It wasn't a full trailer. Duh. So I may have gotten 7 with a full trailer. All right, now I'm going to clean up the other field, take care of the harvester, and we'll wrap up the episode. You are not done, sir. I don't know why it does this. But we did get our usual 25,000 liters-ish. Seems like we're doing a little better this time. $26, not bad. Not bad at all. And what we do is the unconventional thing, which is you bring your harvester over to where the horses are. I was wondering earlier why we don't have to clean the horses, but in a way we kind of do. But the horse helper does that. Usually if you ride your horses, you gotta clean them up, but we don't ride the horses, so that's why I guess we don't have to clean up their pen, because we gotta clean them after riding them, which we kind of don't. But you get my point. Anyways, I gotta go pick up that wonderful straw over there. I'll park this. I'm wondering, I'm sure we can't, because it's never been a thing. But did they change it? Can I just... Will it just unload? I don't want to unload here. Oh, wait, you can actually just... Alright, now correct me if I'm wrong again, but we couldn't do this in 17, could we? I don't remember being able to take your harvester and dumping right into the silo. At all. That did go in there, right? I hope that went in there. Oats. Yes, it did. Because now we're up to about 48,000. So if you didn't know that, we both learned something. I did not know we could do that. I didn't know we could do that. So that does save a little bit of extra running around. Also, I learned you can't close up the harvester until the pipe is folded. But anyways, that's beside the point. I gotta go jump in the man tractor and finish picking up the field and bring in some more cash today, because at least we haven't spent as much as we had the past few episodes. Yeah, now we're just saving up. I was hoping this episode, when midnight came, last midnight, I was like, oh, I hope we got over 300,000 just so we can buy the cow pasture, but nope. And I just turned off the engine. So I need to pick up this straw, sell it, and we'll wrap up the episode. Well, I think I learned my lesson at these fields. When you make the first trip up, make sure you take a full load, because I got like maybe 2,000 or 3,000 liters left in that field, and I got a full trailer. So yeah, next time, the first time, Peanut, go up with a full trailer, because now I'm making 3 trips instead of 2. And is it worth it to go get... Yes, I'm going to go get it. It'll be like, a couple $100. So what do we get for a full trailer at $81 per? Is it going to be the 7,000 like I said the first time? It is good seeing that money go up, because wow, we need it. 7,300. So probably the beginning of next episode, it probably will be the next in-game day. We should have all that chaff should be compacted and turned to silage by next morning. Our case may still be subsoiling the cornfield. I would assume by then. Does it need lime now? That's one thing I'm not checking. Does that field need lime? No, it doesn't. So it's been about a half an hour. So he's here. So another half hour, 1 hour, 2 hour. It's still looking like over 2 hours of work for him to do. So like I said, I'm going to lime these fields, obviously, because that's what they need. Replant some oats. And replant that field with corn for now. I'm going to stick with it. And I am going to test to see if the other subsoiler will hook up to this truck. If it does, great. That's something that we'll probably have to do in a couple of days' time. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. Hopefully it was educational, because I got kind of stumped. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I appreciate your watch as always, and I'll see you next time in Ravenport. But until then, have a good one.